I'm Andy Hammermeister. I'm the director of the Organic Agriculture Centre of Canada and the co-chair for this Canadian Organic Science Conference. It's been a fabulous event. We're really excited about the whole conference. It's part of the Organic Science Cluster, which is part of the Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada's Growing Forward initiative under the Science Cluster initiative. So the strength of this conference really lies in its diversity. We have many different disciplines represented. We have presentations on soils and livestock, greenhouse production systems, horticulture, social and ecological sciences. And we also had a very nice discussion about extension in organic agriculture. So the Organic Agriculture Centre of Canada was founded in 2001 by Dr. Ralph Martin. And from the start, our vision has been to conduct and facilitate research and education right across the country, supporting organic agriculture and ultimately supporting sustainable communities. And so to kind of condense that, what we really do is link organic knowledge. And we want to link farmers to scientists and scientists to farmers, and extension people might be in the middle of all that, but we find that the scientists can learn a lot, as much from the farmers as the farmers are learning from the scientists. There has to be a connection and a communication between all the stakeholders in organic agriculture. And we see the Organic Agriculture Centre of Canada being the facilitator of all those connections. And as such, we have engaged in applying for programs such as the Science Cluster Initiative and establishing the Organic Science Cluster. So this, the Canadian Organic Science Conference, was organized as a culmination of all of that work to bring together the scientists to talk with each other across disciplines, but also to invite farmers and industry stakeholders to come and learn about what research is going on across the country, and just to see how credible the science is in organic agriculture. We're doing good, solid, hard, advancing science in organic agriculture, and this conference is a clear demonstration of that.
I'm an organic producer from Quebec, and I feel that this activity was very important to be able to be there and see what's happening in organic research, and also maybe to give our input towards what's going on and what's going to be searched in agriculture, in organic agriculture. It is important to make some research in organic agriculture because nature still have a lot of secrets for us, and I think the organic sector is probably the best sector to be able to dig a little more, to understand what's going on behind those systems which are agroecosystems. We are already facing a big challenge in environment, and I think that organic agriculture is probably a response to those challenges. So it is important to make research in this domain to be able to answer those questions.
My name is Louise Nelson. I'm a professor in biology at the University of British Columbia, Okanagan campus in Kelowna, BC. And we're interested in replant disorder in orchards when old trees are pulled out and new trees are planted. Often the new ones do not thrive, and it can be a patchy problem that occurs just in different sectors of the orchard. It's found all over the world. And it's not really well understood what causes this replant disorder. There sometimes are diseases associated with it, and there's also seems to be a nutrient factor that's involved, a lack of essential nutrients for the young trees. We're focusing on that nutrient aspect. Dr. Nielsen in earlier work had found that the young trees often respond to phosphorus addition. In organic agriculture, there aren't readily available sources of phosphorus, and one of the natural sources that can be used is rock phosphate, but it's not readily available to plants. So one of the things that you can do is to try and increase the solubilization rate of the inorganic phosphorus in rock phosphate. And so we're looking at using soil bacteria to do that. And we had a collection of soil bacteria in my lab that came from soil actually in Saskatchewan, where I used to be. And my graduate student Molly has screened over 100 of those strains and pulled out ones that are the top phosphate solubilizing bacteria. She's now doing further studies in the lab and in the greenhouse, and last year established some trials at 2 organic orchards in Kelowna, or in the Kelowna area, and we're looking to see what the results will be. But we're very hopeful and confident that these will colonize the roots of the young apple seedlings, release organic acids or other compounds which slightly acidify the environment and then makes the phosphorus more available to the plant. And we're very excited about the results. This ties in with my lifelong interest in the interaction of plants and microorganisms, and the, I guess you could say, the exploitation or the management of microorganisms that would naturally occur on the roots of plants to enhance plant growth. So I've worked in the past on nitrogen fixation, on biological control of fungal pathogens, and now looking at these phosphate solubilizers. And this fits in very well with organic agriculture. It's a more sustainable approach. We can use these microorganisms instead of using synthetic fertilizers or synthetic pesticides. So I have a strong interest in
I'm Celine Boutin. I work for Environment Canada. I'm a research scientist there, and for several years I've been involved in studying biodiversity in agricultural system, and also working on the impact of herbicide use in agriculture. The project in which I am interested at the moment and that I've been involved in for several years is related to comparing organic and conventional farming in terms of biodiversity. So looking at the diversity of plants, different invertebrates and insects and birds in conventional and organic farming, and also investigating the importance of different habitats within agricultural systems. And by habitats I mean hedgerows and margins and crop fields, of course. And what is the interest of biodiversity is really to look at how important biodiversity is, but also the use of biodiversity to provide services for organic farming and maybe for conventional farming as well. So when we compared organic and conventional farming, one of the important findings we had was that there is, and we expected that there is indeed a greater diversity in organic farms than in conventional farming, especially in terms of native plants and some invertebrates or insects, but also birds as well. They were more abundant and more diverse in organic farming. And we also found that these habitats we studied, like the woody hedgerows and margin, were extremely important for the biodiversity in agricultural systems. So there were always more plants, more invertebrates, and more birds in these areas than in farms. And in return, of course, these organisms will help farmers is to perhaps pollinate crops and control some insect pests that are in crops.
My name is Valérie. For the past 3 years, I've been a research professional at Laval University in Quebec City. I've been working for the past 3 years on projects included in the organic science cluster. I mostly work on greenhouse crops. We work on fertilization and how we can improve mineralization within the soil. So by improving the soil microbial activity through oxygenation of the growing medium. I also work on the treatment of effluents using artificial wetlands. In those projects, I mostly work on the microbial activity within the wetlands. I think it's important to be involved in research in organic agriculture, first of all as a consumer, because it's important to be conscious of how the foods that we are consuming are produced and how the production systems have an impact on the environment.
So my name is Halde, and I'm a Ph.D. student here at the University of Manitoba, and I'm working under the supervision of Dr. Martin Entz.
And my name is Cynthia Lee Valencia. I'm a graduate student at McGill University, working in collaboration with Halde, that's the Institute of Research and Development in Agroecosystems, agro-environment actually.
So I guess my interest for organic farming came from my parents, because I grew up on an organic dairy farm in Quebec, and I guess I just spent my childhood going to organic field days, and I guess that's the kind of agriculture that I was used to and I grew up with, and yeah, I guess it's the way, the traditional way to do agriculture in my family, so that's the reason.
I wasn't born on a farm, I'm a city girl, and but I've always had a very strong interest in the natural world. And in 2009, I got the opportunity to do an internship in organic agriculture, and I completely fell in love, and now I've discovered this passion that I have, and the connection that I felt with nature was just so overwhelming that I truly understand the importance of doing agriculture in an organic way, and I wouldn't want to see it done by me in any other way.
I'm interested in soil science, plant science, and animal science, so I guess I'm really interested in integrating livestock into field cropping systems and how we can kind of recycle nutrients and make sure that we're, I guess, closing the loop and make sure that we're really keeping all of the water, energy, and nutrients into a closed system.
And I'm interested in how it all fits together, the agroecosystem too. And you have to look at it holistically. Exactly. You can't just look at one thing. It's really hard to pick it out. Have training in entomology, so for me is seeing how all the biotic components fit together and work as a whole. Mainly agroecosystems.
Research helps us to solve problems that a farmer on their own cannot solve. It helps to create efficiencies that farmers on their own often would not ever arrive at. We know within farming, in every commodity, in every type of farming, that there's a wide range of levels of success, of levels of production and of efficiency. So, you know, the potential to move the bar higher and to create greater efficiency in organic production is tremendous. mainly because we have lacked any sort of research initiatives in the past. So while mainstream agriculture has done a remarkable job of improving its methodologies, of producing food with less cost, more labor efficiency, a number of other things, progress has been tremendous in those areas. We in organic agriculture need research to really refine our practices. And we want particularly to not become focused on the very specific means of production without regard to how that affects the systems that we manage. So it's of primary importance that the organic research be systems-oriented research, that it be holistic, that it look at the big picture and say, how do we achieve a more resilient ecology on the farm? Not just how do we produce something cheaper, how do we produce more per unit, but how do we create systems that are sustainable, that are resilient, systems that utilize all of the biological, natural forces at work in the soil and the plants and create a product that's really healthy for people.
Our job now is to sell the idea of more funding to organic to the government of Canada and also provincial governments. And my view is that there is, it's a very wise investment to put money into organic research because it addresses fundamental problems of agriculture. For example, we have herbicide-resistant weeds. We've got insects that are resistant to insecticides. That's a reality in all agriculture. Well, we don't use herbicides or synthetic insecticides, so organic research provides answers to all farmers. So in that way, it's an incredibly good investment. And there's almost no downside to investing in organic agriculture research. So in the presentation this morning, I told people that if I was the Minister of Agriculture or the Dean of this college, then I would insist that a minimum of 40% of the budget goes to organic agriculture research, simply because we'd be learning more interesting things for all farmers. And I stand by that, and we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to end with saying how much fun it is to work on organic agriculture. And the people of this province don't pay me to have fun at my job. I'm supposed to do a job and deliver, and of course I do that. But when you're working in biological systems and social systems where you see positive change, where you see the wonder of nature, you can't help but have fun. And one measure of how that works is the quality of graduate students that we have attracted into organic agriculture has been really, really high quality students. And I think it's because they see that there's a lot of excitement about the science of organic agriculture, because the challenges are more interesting and they're more based in nature. The solutions are more based in natural systems. So it's been a great conference, and if you are involved in organic farming or research, I wish you well, and I wish you a good day.